I might cry today. This is really cool. 2020's been hard, and this is one of the brightest spots in our year, so thank you all for being a part of it. Welcome to Sandorf Park. Woo-woo! I am Linda Broadfoot. I'm your director of Indy Parks, and Sandorf is one of 212 parks that we are proud to manage, serving more than 8 million people annually. I'm grateful to be in this role, and today I am thrilled to show off our newest playground, our newest place for children to have fun, and a new place for the community to be proud of. Today you'll hear about the park's magnificent transformation. You'll also learn more about the challenges that brought us here. There's something about us parks people. We go to great lengths to make great things happen for the people we serve, for their families, and for our community. We never gave up on Sandorf Park, and standing here with you now brings me so much joy and appreciation. One person that I'll never be able to thank enough, really ever in my whole career, is Don Colvin. It's only fitting, since he's coming up here soon, to thank everyone else, but Don was, is, and will always be Sandorf Park's loyal cheerleader. He kept digging, literally, to get the right people in the room, to remind us all to be patient and purposeful, and to put the right pieces together to make Sandorf Park a reality. Don was the guiding force to rebuild this park in the safest manner, even if it took years to do so. Don, we appreciate you and thank you for your efforts in giving Sandorf Park the makeover it deserved. Where's Don?
Where's Don? Where's Don? There he is.
See, he even has to come up here and speak in a minute, but he's standing off to the side. That's how he rolls, guys. This colorful play space now features a musical sensory spinner, a 20-foot fully accessible play structure, that thing is cool, a color-coded junior NBA basketball court with new goals, a triple threat pump track for skateboarding and riding bikes, a youth fitness challenge course with exercise equipment, the state's first ever multi-use game area court, an innovative feature allowing for basketball, futsal, volleyball, pickleball, and more all in one place, a high-tech rubberized play surface, and so much more. And I highly recommend taking your shoes off and walking around on the green turf. It's really cool. Join me now in welcoming my boss, who's also been a tremendous champion for this project. We couldn't have done it without his support, Mayor Joe Hogsett.
Oh, thank you, Linda. Thank you. Thank you all. Super School 19. Let's hear it. I am tremendously happy to be here this morning as we finally rejoin Sandorf Park with this neighborhood. It's been 2 long years since this part of town was able to enjoy its area park. In 2017, National Recreation and Park Association Conference was held in the city of Indianapolis. The city at that time announced that Sandorf had been selected to receive a full makeover. However, when work crews discovered environmental contamination, construction had to stop, and the site was closed. A thorough remediation process under the guidance of the Indiana Department of Environmental Management followed. That process involved the replacement of 2 full feet of soil, along with extensive testing. Once these measures were completed, the site was cleared, and the real work of rehabbing the park could finally begin, putting us on the path to today's grand reopening. A special thanks to Councilor Mascari, to Principal Garcia, and a special thanks to the children and teachers of Super School 19. You know, these young people out here are the future of Indianapolis. They work hard, and they deserve a recreational facility that is state of the art. And I am so proud to be here with them today to join in this grand opening. I want to thank all of the park donors who made these updates possible. And of course, my thanks to the families who have had to wait longer than expected for this renovation to be completed. In 2020, our city was able to see just how important our parks are. This year, 2020, has been a difficult year. But Indy Parks has dished up over 300,000 meals to students and their families when school facilities were closed, when homeless shelters could not socially distance. Our parks opened their doors to provide additional space. And just this past week, our parks served as polling places for citizens to exercise their most fundamental American right, the right to vote. 2020 makes it clear we need our parks. And for that reason, I'm so excited we are returning Sandorf Park back to its community. Bigger, better, and cleaner than ever before. So it is with great pleasure that I am able to welcome to the podium the City County Councilor for this district, the 21st District in the city of Indianapolis, Frank Mascari. Frankie?
Thank you, Mayor. He covered most of it, I have to say. I just want to thank Dan Parker for stepping up with money to do this. When they found this, the contamination, it was something that happened in the 30s. Nobody knew it was even here. Also, Linda Broadfoot for everything she's been doing, and Don Colvin, you did a great job, I'll tell you. And this is set up for these kids and the future of these kids. But at this time, I'd like to introduce Jessica Darling.
Good morning. My name is Jessica Darling, and I am here speaking on behalf of the Fountain Square Alliance, thank you, which is the neighborhood that you are currently standing in. It is my great honor to speak on behalf of our esteemed president, Mrs. Susan Gaw, who unfortunately cannot be here today, but she sends her congratulations and best wishes to everyone here. The Fountain Square Alliance was established formally in 2010 with the partnership of many block clubs in the area. Since then, our neighbors have worked diligently to create a safer community for the residents in our area to call home. Substantial efforts have been made to reduce the number of abandoned homes and negligent landlords. Over the years, we've partnered with Sustain Indy to build a community vegetable garden. We partnered with Rowe to build the Spruce Bridge Plaza and Sculpture Project. We partner with KIB to do semi-annual cleanups in our area. Every year we have a national night out celebration, a rummage sale, and a chili cook-off. In short, every day we actively work to make our community better, which is why we are so excited for this renovated park to open. When communities have access to playgrounds and green space, they become more physically active. They become more engaged in their community. It gives them an opportunity to have a safe space to meet, which I am hopeful that the Fountain Square Alliance in warm months will be able to meet in the picnic shelter and have a sense of engagement and community with our neighbors. Our sincere thanks to the National Recreation and Parks Association, Indy Parks, IPS, the Marion County Health Department, DPW, all of our generous donors for this amazing enhancement to our neighborhood that will optimize our area for generations to come. To the children and families in Fountain Square Alliance, we ask you to please come and play. Come and play in this area. Play allows children to use the creativity while developing their imagination. It improves physical and emotional strength, and it allows children to build the confidence they will need to face It allows children to build confidence and helps build resiliency that children will need to face future challenges. Thank you again for this wonderful gift. We are so excited to have this here in our neighborhood. I feel very glad to introduce this next person, the Deputy Director of the Indy Parks Association. I am probably the least qualified person to talk about all of Don's amazing accomplishments. All I can say is that we are so thrilled and we thank him for all of the work he has done. He never gave up on us, and for that we are truly grateful. Don Colvin.
Yeah, Don.
Well, first and foremost, I'm humbled by the recognition. But as we all know, it's never one individual person, and this audience really represents all the people that worked on this to become the success that we have here today. And I may take a little long, but I thought it was very important to recognize those folks that have been with us through this whole journey, starting as late as 2017 to the present. And thank you, Susan, for the introduction. Oh, I'm sorry, you weren't Susan. So I'm Don Colvin, as everybody has mentioned, and I'm honored to serve as Deputy Director for Indy Parks and DPW. I have the pleasure to serve both directors. And thank you for coming out today to help us celebrate Sandorf Park. And as you've heard, there were many people and groups who stepped up early on to get this project started, who remained with the project as we elevated the next steps, and who contributed such valuable ways to take Sandorf Park from an idea to a magnificent space we see today. I'd like to spend a few moments thanking the people and groups who made this possible. First and foremost, thank you, Mayor, for the support of parks. Your administration has been on every park initiative, and you've given us not only financial support, but leadership support, and I can't thank you enough for that. And special thanks to my director, Linda Broadfoot, for her leadership and her vision and belief in this project and empowerment of their team underneath her to get the job done. And Daniel Parker, my other director that I have the pleasure to work alongside of, for his personal support and his experience and knowledge to drive the restoration and environmental issues on this project. And through his deputy director, Tim Joyce, who, with the oversight of the environmental management team led by Nate Self and Joe Arnold, and the commitment to make sure that all the IDAM regulations and Marion County Health Department regulations were followed, and the site was safe for all citizens, not only on the immediate site, but all the surrounding site. We had air monitoring equipment around the perimeter during the construction to make sure no particulates were leaving this property. As I mentioned, you can't do this without the help of others, and I'm fortunate enough to have a phenomenal in-house team, the Department of Public Works Planning and Parks. And I want to highly recommend Andre Denman, who's my principal planner, oversees greenways for the design and equipment coordination on this project. Danny Swales and Corey Cornett for the project management, working along with the consultants on this piece. Mark Taylor, my administrator over operations and grounds maintenance, for receiving the delivery of all this equipment and coordinating it and cleaning up the site, making sure it was presentable today. My in-house project managers, Bill Kinkus, who's our urban forester. He did all the tree management. It's why we were able to preserve and save all these trees. And Renetta Spalding, Indy Parks Public Information Officer and media expert. She made sure that our community knew where we were going and kept this process transparent and kept everyone informed. And I can't thank her enough for her tireless effort in making sure the information was out there and organizing an event like this today. I want to step back and again recognize the National Recreation Park Association, particularly Ted Mattingly and Gina Cohen, for bringing the large national sponsors to the table who stayed with us, because this was going to be a legacy site when the NRPA visited the city of Indianapolis in 2018. Also want to recognize the Park Alliance of Indianapolis, Lori Hazlick and Jenny Cash, for their continual support and alignment with the National Park Association and leaders and the various vendors who they have close relationships with, and staying with us throughout this whole process. I got two different groups. I have donors that literally just gave the equipment and their times. So the Indianapolis Airport Authority, Bill Stenson, donated the soil, the clay soil. Again, we brought in 6,500 tons of clay soil to this site. Game Time, Sinclair Recreation, their local representative, Jeff Braham and Rich Sinclair, is the Youth Challenge course that you'll see up to the north. Play World, David Shealy, Vice President of Sales. In Mid-State Recreation, the representative of Play World, Blake Harbison, Amber Berninger, excuse me. The large play equipment, which we see directly behind us. It's an amazing, amazing piece of equipment. And then Michigan Recreation Construction, Wayne Whittenden and Alex Prislak, they were the construction team that installed all the playground equipment. And believe me, it was a challenge. I mean, this was an environmentally challenging site, but working with all the different vendors, and some of this stuff is the first time being installed. So my hat is tipped to their quality of workmanship and the effort they put forth. Compan, we have Brad Pittman from North American Sales Director, and locally, Melissa Guffey from Recreation Insight. They donated the Muga Court, which will be the first one in the state of Indiana. As was mentioned, you can play futsal, basketball, pickleball, and volleyball all in one spot. And Commercial Recreation Group, Shane Burris, donated the basketball goals, and in the spring, when the lawns comes in the large multi-purpose sports field, they donated the soccer goals. Dumore donated all the benches, the recycled plastic benches on it. Anita Rudy, most dependable fountain, Laura Beecham, the drinking fountain that's not in yet, but it's all plumbed and ready to go in. Musco Lighting, Nick Morrow, Brent Castle, Brittany Callahan, the LED lights was part of their contribution to the project. iZone from Stephanie Kofel, she did the signage that will be put up that will tell us how to use the different features in the park. Harmony Free Notes was Kate Morrison, the musical features we see off to the right. And then these other firms had a reduced fee, and they kept their fees below their typical market rate. One of the things, you wouldn't have this beautiful park today if it wasn't for Brown and Day. They were the lead design team on this and the creative force on how this was laid out and the functionality of it. So Drew Bradley and Ryan Cambridge, I'd like to recognize from Brown and Day. The environmental remediation, that was led by the team of Vicky Karamita, the president, and Ed Joscan, who oversaw all the environmental mitigation on this site. He did a phenomenal job. We really pushed the envelope with Karamita. I mean, they're an outstanding long-term environmental firm in the city of Indianapolis, but this was their first large-scale, integrated, fully functional park master plan, site development plan. And again, Ed, you did a phenomenal job out here. Maya Najam, Dan Lawson, Vice President of Business Development, Chad Sloan, Derek Ferguson, and others did the project managed site development, the concrete walks that you're on, the whole logistics of assembling this project. That all falls on Maya Najam's and the budget and components of it. CHA, Jay Gibson, Greg Silcock, engineering. It's the stuff you don't see underground. It's the drainage systems, it's the topography of the lay of the land. Green Arbor tree experts, Daniel Vernon, tree removals and pruning. Over 130 trees had to be removed along the north end, but we were able to save these magnificent trees here, and you can see the expert pruning that was done on these trees and the rubberized play surface that's porous that'll keep these trees alive as we go on. Sin Lawn, Lorraine Phillips Volvo, synthetic grass play surface right behind us, a phenomenal surface. Please take your shoes off, as Director Broadfoot mentioned, and play on it. Polygon Shelter, represented by Play Pros, Justin Mose, Vice President Sean Bollinger, and Andrea Halbeg, and picnic tables from Landscape Structures. American Ramp Company, Austin Suber, the triple threat pump track to the north there. With all that, as I said, it takes a large community to put together a project like this. And so I think we should all give all these donors a loud, big hand and applause. And thank you very, very much. At this time, I have the pleasure to introduce the principal of IPS Frederick Douglass Super School, number 19, Deborah Garcia, and I can't tell you enough how they've been so supportive during this process. They've allowed us to have our public meetings in the schools. They met continuously with us to discuss the challenges and what their needs were as a school operation. What a great partner they've been for us, and thank you.
Good job, Don.
Thank you so much, Indy Parks, for inviting the students and the staff of Super School 19 here today for the ribbon cutting. I want to start by sharing my gratitude to Indy Parks and all the partners responsible for the safe and beautiful redevelopment of Sandorf Park. And we look forward to putting this park to greater use than ever before. This has been a long-awaited day, not only for all of our students, but this entire community. This park has always been a special attraction for our students as a place to play and enjoy the outdoors. Our school specializes in action-based learning, weaving activity and physical fitness into everything we do. These new, bright, colorful play zones, game areas, green space, and even musical sensory plaza will provide wonderful opportunities for our students to interact, engage with one another, and continue activities outdoors in a natural setting. When school isn't in session, this will be a wonderful place for our students to gather with family and friends. On behalf of the entire school community, we want to say thank you. Thank you.
All right, we're going to line up right behind here and cut the ribbon. I believe all the young people are going to join us.
Good.
Camera, and pause,
We are smiling.
and on the count of 3,